Welcome to Project Sullivan. On this week's episode,
we're going to pull the carburetor out of our Hisun ATV.
Then we're going to rebuild it.
Then we'll have that carburetor back in this ATV. I had some concerns to voice. Gogo already had a new brake master cylinder installed, so we bled the brakes on our Hisun ATV. We had our lovely assistant, Nikki, help us pump the brakes so I could show Gogo how to bleed brakes. With an old piece of brake line and a water bottle, we made a brake fluid container. It worked very well, I think. Now that both front and back brakes are bled, this disc brake system can finally stop. Showed Nikki how to check the oil. We removed the upper panel to expose the fuel cell to get a better look under the hood, so to speak. We drained the old fuel in preparation to get it ready to run. We checked our air cleaner after putting some new fuel and starting it up with a little help from one and done. We've discovered we're going to need to do more to this ATV. That's why this week we're rebuilding the carburetor. So, where's the carburetor, Gogo?
It's right there. Well, this hose is connected to the carburetor.
Yeah, you can pull that one. That one just pulls off.
Oh, that was easy.
I don't know what that hose is.
How about this hose?
It should be, you should just disconnect it, yeah.
Wait, isn't this one gas?
Yes. But the valve's off, so it should be able to take off.
Oh. If it was stuck in the gas tank, I could probably... Oh, there we go. Maybe not.
Okay, so that's the only one. I don't know.
How about you?
Oh, you know what? That's probably the throttle.
Eventually.
The entire state is easier. This tire here we clip. It's got that quick removal deluxe option. You know, plastic's already dry rotted and breaking. So, give this a little twisteroo, twisteroni, the San Francisco treat.
And then cloud.
Get that thrown around there.
And cloud.
Now the carburetor's out, and there's the throttle cable.
Success! Now we have to rebuild this one.
Now it's time to go inside. We'll meet you guys inside. So this is our throttle cable.
Now how do we disconnect
This
that?
is our remote idle.
Is that our
See?
issue?
You go like this and you spin it and it spins the idle screw. And then that either pushes this out, like if you pull this cable, it either pushes this out like this to give it more idle, like more gas at idle, or it pushes it in to where it'll be less fuel at idle.
Is that when we want idle?
No, because it should have been idling because it used to idle.
Yeah,
So we need to
within
clean
the
it
first
out.
week.
This is our bowl. This is probably where our problems are going to be. So that's what we need to take off first. Let's get a dish for all the...
Alright.
It's nice to actually be under the AC for this.
Oh yeah.
Break that loose. Break that loose. So far so good. Alright, let's take some extra video here.
Of course, I'm the hardest one. There you go.
We'll go ahead and take that off.
Mostly we're working on our carport for this sort of thing. It is really nice to be underneath the AC for once.
Right. I don't know if it's too loud. We might have to do voiceovers here to compensate for it.
Hopefully not.
Okay, hold the carburetor, go 2 hands.
I'll do my best.
See if I can teamwork it. That might hold us back. Go and take this screw off.
Drill?
Well, let's say when we take the other screws off, maybe it'll loosen up.
This is my first time personally taking off a carburetor, or taking apart one.
I'm not a carburetor guy. I've only taken a couple of these little carburetors apart.
How many of the car carburetors have taken apart?
Oh, quite a few. I've owned a lot of crappy cars.
So do I now. I own one crappy car. That's not very crap, okay? Do you need a bigger one?
What, to
Oh,
replace
look at all that
screw?
gunk that just shot out.
Yeah, we don't want to put that screw back in. We probably won't.
Put this in our discard pile.
Right. Okay, so here's our bowl. This is our gasket. We don't want to tear that because I plan on reusing it.
We don't have a rebuild kit.
Which is crap, so we'll see how that works. This is our float.
You can
That's
only
what
get
shuts-
Japan.
This is what turns on and off the fuel. So the fuel comes in here, right? And then when this float is down, it shuts off the gas. Once the gas, these float on the gas, so when they come up like this, it puts more gas in. But if we look inside here, that is clean. That is amazingly clean. It should not be that clean.
Do you think it would be the... I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. Well, you better get used to doing carburetors. We have like 3 more that we have to do.
So that's gonna go in there. Take a good look.
You have to rewatch this video to figure out where the stuff goes.
That's why we're recording from a couple angles. These are our jets, our metering jets. Okay, well that is so weird that it's that clean inside. So weird. I'm gonna try taking this jet out. I think that's our jet. Okay, it was only tightened to, which is not very much, so that's good.
It wasn't like the other one.
Nice and clean inside. Why
Did we
is
just
this
do this
carburetor
for
not
no
working? The needle's making noise. Let's take this bad boy out. Okay, that's the one I took out of there.
Here. Instead of that, having a discard pile, there's that there.
Again, reasonably tight. Let's take off our... Maybe we'll just do a half rebuild and not take out every little piece. Either way, we're going to soak it in vinegar overnight. It might have been that hose. Remember that bad hose that we found was broken?
Oh, yeah. The one with the air cleaner. Are we gonna rob it
Because
off the Nova?
this is looking surprisingly clean.
Here's a Phillips head. Let me see. Oh, never mind. And that was spring loaded. That could have ended bad. I've had my experiences with springs for the day.
I got it with that one.
Maybe not. I need it.
Okay, that's the... Okay, that's for the needle. Got it.
That still doesn't look that bad. I've seen worse in videos.
I don't know, that needle actually looks like it's pretty dirty.
Oh.
That might have been what was dirty. And then like all this is pretty nasty in there, you can see. So, let's get this.
Get the brake cleaner out.
No, let's get this soaking. In vinegar.
Why are you so
Vinegar.
insistent on using vinegar? Hey, guess what? It
Are you ready to
floats!
get up?
Dave, did you know how it floats?
Well, I hope so. There's a float in it.
Day 2.
Drain it. Best we can.
Swear to God, if it still isn't idle, I'm just gonna be upset.
Well, we'll see. We might need to adjust some things. I did notice that the needle was kind of stuck yesterday when I was taking it apart.
And I thought that plate was gold yesterday.
Might have been.
Flashback to that right now. Now that our whole house smells like vinegar.
Most motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs sold today are fuel injected, which I prefer. It's like I always say, small engine, carbureted, broke down, probably the carburetor. Normally I try to avoid buying anything small engine wise that's carbureted. ATV, UTV, motorcycle, but here's the thing, I already own one, and there's plenty of them out on the road. Even if you're buying them to restore them or repair them and flip them, you can. Since we're rebuilding one, here's Project Sullivan's Know Nothing Guide to CV carburetors. Some things about carburetors are present and have to be present in every single version of a carburetor. Before we get started, I want everyone to know I'm not a carburetor guy. I just know enough to fake it. And I can kind of teach you how to fake it. Let's see how it goes. The concept behind carbs is simple. See, that could be cool. Let's say carbs. Like I said, carburetors, the concept of carburetors is simple. All they're really doing is creating an atmosphere where you can make an air-fuel mixture that an engine can run off. Trying to get as close to 14.7 to 1 as possible. Be most efficient. First thing you need to know about a carb is the Venturi. And the Venturi has to be present on the carburetor for it to even work. The carburetor we're building today only has one Venturi. The textbook definition would say the air's speed increases while the pressure decreases. This drop in air pressure, it pulls that fuel out of the jets, which goes into the Venturi, mixes with the air, and goes into the cylinder head. All this basically means is that when you hit the throttle cable on the handlebars, it pulls the throttle cable, and the throttle cable just opens the butterfly, as seen in the picture here, and it's actually the vacuum that controls how much the slide is moving in and out. On a mechanical one, it just all controlled mechanically instead of through vacuum. CV Carbs have their application. They're better in multiple altitudes. They have a smoother throttle response. Here, one. The mechanical ones always have to be adjusted according to altitude, but they're your performance ones. They're your racing carburetors. They all or nothing. They're just ready to go. The first piece of the carb I have already covered, which was the fuel bowl, and I talked about how the fuel gets into the plunger and the float. But the second part I want to talk about is the accelerator pump. The accelerator pump on this carb activates by vacuum as well. And basically what it does is when you hit that throttle, the vacuum sends signal to the carburetor and there's a burst of fuel that gets thrown into the venturi, and it gives you that get up and go. You know what I mean? A little bit of get up and go. So you hit the throttle, whom, whum, whum. It gives them a little extra fuel, which when it's wide open, you can hit that thing and it does. Accelerated pumps kind of work all the same. That's just, ours is operated by vacuum. That's all you need to know. We're also not going to take this one out of its housing because we didn't have an indicator that it's broken. Your idle air fuel mixture is 14.701. That's what you're ideally looking for when you're adjusting a part. That's what you're doing. Fuel injection just keeps it there constantly, or relatively constantly. And that's why fuel injection gives you more horsepower and better fuel mileage. But it also means the more working parts that when they need to be fixed, they're more expensive and oftentimes harder to fix. To try and keep the air fuel mixture at around that 14.7 to 1, the carburetor uses 3 circuits. First off, we're going to talk about the main circuit. Alright, the main circuit is your fun circuit. That's what happens when you're 75% throttle to open throttle all the way. That's your fun zone. Your get up and go, your climb anything, your pull anything. And a lot of times this one doesn't really have a lot of problems, but if you are having problems at upper ranges, that's where we would look on that circuit. But as we know of, we don't have a problem with that. Right now, we have a problem with a different circuit. The second circuit you're going to deal with is the medium circuit. And the medium circuit takes care of everything from like 5% throttle to the 75 if we need to be open. If you have sluggish takeoff, you got to look at the accelerator pump or even the mid-range positioning to figure out where it's going wrong. Mid-range, also not our problem right now, that we know of. The one we know that's our problem right now is the third circuit, the idle circuit. Now when doing this, you should have a carburetor rebuild kit. You should not be trying to take one apart. I'm just seeing if I get this thing going for as cheap as possible before having to break down and pay either carburetor or rebuild kit. We'll see. We'll see. So what can we do to fix our carburetor? Well, first thing, disassembly and cleaning. We've already done that. You're seeing it in the video here. Scrubbing it with our toothbrushes, using our vinegar bath. And the thing was surprisingly clean. Also another reason why we didn't take apart the accelerator pump. It was already surprisingly clean. Why would we cause problems with something that's already working? Another thing you're going to want to do when you're fixing for the season or you're fixing for a carburetor is new fuel. So if you got old fuel, you want to drain that fuel. Even if it does kind of run off a bit, it's not going to run very well. You drain that old fuel, put new fuel. Believe me, it's a lifesaver. It's going to gum up. So we've taken apart our carb, we've cleaned our carb, and we've swapped our fuel. If you watched the last episode, if you haven't, check it out. I thought it was a pretty good watch, so, but I am only biased. Hopefully the last thing we have to do is install the carburetor. We probably have to play with the air fuel mixture screw on the carburetor, but we'll do that on the ATV. And hopefully I'll show you where that is. Hopefully I'll show you where that is. If you have any questions that I might be able to answer, if I can't, I'll try to find it, but I'll let you know. Comment down below.
Right now, we're putting the carburetor back on. Little disclaimer, we are missing a tube.
A hose.
Hose. But it'll be fine.
Putting the carburetor in?
Don't know if it's the right way. Hang on.
Bring that over it. Logan, you got a hose right here. You gotta come over it.
I thought you got it. I'm sorry.
That's why I said bring that over.
I have a feeling it's the wrong way orientation.
No. That's right. Oh, I need that box of parts, Gogo.
Which parts? Oh, this part.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that spring there. I don't know where it came from because it shot out randomly. And try to do that. That looks like it's right though.
That's right.
That makes some kind of sense.
Yeah. On a scale of the 1 to make sense meter, it's about a make sense. The rest of it.
It's kind of hard to get in here and show you guys what's going on. I forgot how this was on. It could have very well been over here, but I forgot how this goes on.
Does it seem like it's tightening?
Yeah. That fits tremendously better. Put that bad boy back on. Okay.
It all working?
Well, kind of. Can you hold this right here? Press it up. Stay there. And then Instead of going to your toolbox, you want to grab whatever's around you that might kind of work and use it. Now hit it.
Now throttle hooked up.
You want to make sure your throttle cable housing is all cracked and broken.
Still warms up.
Give it a quick crack.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Project Sullivan.
Next week we'll have this thing running when we didn't forget to charge the battery.
Now don't ever forget to like, comment, and subscribe
See you next week.
here on Project Sullivan.